Oh, you're the new scout. Rahim radioed me about you.
Yeah, that's me. Name's Crane.
Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say about this game. I was a huge fan of Dead Island, as you know if you've been following me for a while. And I was a little skeptic about this one, even though it's been made by the same company, Techland. And in my opinion, they're just make the best zombie games, period. If you are a fan of Walking Dead or you just like Walking Dead, you will like this. This is actually far more realistic than the TV series Walking Dead, which I always thought was a little bit unrealistic and a little bit on the cheesy side, even though I did watch it and I didn't enjoy it. This game is super realistic. It's basically zombie survival how I would imagining it if it was really happening in reality. And I will talk about this a little bit later, but first I want to mention how outstanding the character animations are, the character design and the voice acting. People like me who really like realistic games, they expect the characters to behave and act as real as possible, and I can just totally appreciate what they've done here. They must have put an amazing amount of time and money into this game to make this look the way it is, and I can just, for me, it's like watching a movie and being part of the movie all in once, and that's what makes this game so incredibly addicting. I really didn't want to read any reviews because sometimes they take away the excitement for a game, but I was still curious to see what people had to say about this game, and so I read a little bit of it, and I've seen that some people were complaining about how it's annoying that you get so easily exhausted when you try to beat up zombies. And it's like, well, you know, if you want this game to be realistic, that's how realistic it gets. If you are out of shape and you have to beat someone up that comes after you over and over and over, you will quickly get out of breath. Just try that, like beating a tree trunk or something, and you'll see. But by the way, you rank up your skills and you will get stronger and you will have more stamina with the game, and that's what makes the game fun too, because you're actually working on getting better and better and better. The only thing I had problems with is lockpicking. I just, for some reason, I've played so many games with lockpicking that I figured out pretty quickly, and I found it very fun and challenging to pick locks. But I just haven't really figured out yet in this game how to successfully pick locks. I think I picked like one lock successfully so far, maybe two, one easy one and one medium one. But most of the time this is what happens to me. My tool breaks and I only have so many tools, so after trying like 3 times and it breaks again, I usually give up, because a lot of times you only find things in there anyway that you can find elsewhere. But maybe I'll figure this out in, you know, during the duration of the game, sooner or later, hopefully. Another thing that I've always liked about Techland's games, and that I like about other games as well, is the looting. I just love looting. I don't know why, and I think other people do too, otherwise they wouldn't keep putting it into the games. It's just so satisfying when you're like low on like medicine, for example. Here I'm getting some gauze to craft medkits, and I find alcohol, which I found out is hard to find, which you need a gauze and alcohol in order to craft one medkit. And you know, you just have to look everywhere. There are tools everywhere, tools that you can craft firecrackers with, or Molotov cocktails, or even strengthen your weapon with. I mean, you find food, by the way, if you know, get hurt and you don't have a medkit and you can't build a medkit, then you can just eat food that actually kind of makes your health go back up to 100% if you find enough food, or enough, at least enough, you get at least enough health to just survive until you find more food, or until you can actually craft a medkit. So it's really fun. And then you find money, of course. You know, I found out when you loot those registers, you get actually the most money out of those. A lot of times when you just go and loot bodies, you only get like, you know, $8, $10, maybe $15 in the register. You can get $100 and more. So that's really fun. And during the day when you run around, it's actually not so hard to kind of avoid the zombies, at least in the beginning of the game. I could assume that that can get harder later on, but then also you have built up your stamina, your power, your skills, and you can defend yourself better. And you can find flowers, special flowers that help you gain night vision and stuff like that. I just saw a flower here, here it is. That's the first time I actually found one of those flowers. You can buy those too, but you know, why buy things if you can find them in the world? And what I also love is, you know, what I always liked in the Dead Island games is that you have your own way to deal with the zombies. There is no on rails, only one way to take care of them. You can, you know, I'm using firecrackers here trying to find out if I can blow up that oil can, and there's an oil slick over there, or an oil puddle, which ideally should have been there where the big guy is, because the big guy has a huge hammer of some sorts and he's very dangerous. And what I found kind of funny, which I didn't know, I didn't read that in any reviews or didn't see any videos about it, is that you actually have to climb towers. And you know, as a Far Cry fan, I don't mind doing this. Those towers are a little different. They're almost actually more challenging to climb. But I'm not even sure if this is just part of like one mission at the beginning of the game, or if this is gonna repeat itself like it did in Far Cry. And I also don't want to give away too much. I'm trying to make this video so that I don't give away any spoilers for anyone who is still thinking about getting this game or just got the game and hasn't started playing yet. I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of, you know, games with skill trees and all that, but it seems to be the standard nowadays with open world games. And so here we go. You can see that you can, there's 3 skill trees that are available, and whenever you get a skill point, you go in there and it will tell you where you can apply the skill points, and then you can choose which skill that you want to open up. And some critics mentioned that the parkour here is not as good as in Titanfall or Mirror's Edge. But, you know, to be fair to the developer may have wanted to be more realistic, because, you know, we're not superhumans, we're just humans. And I'm pretty sure guys who do parkour, they slip sometimes, or things can't hold on to a ledge that they wanted to hold on to. You know, you can't look at movies because they have been cut carefully to make it look like the guy never makes a mistake and he's just superhuman. But in reality, parkour, you know, doesn't always go as smooth as you want. People do fall, people do hurt themselves, and that's how this feels. It feels really, really realistic. And the guy I'm playing here, he's not even a parkour expert. He is still learning. So this is just as good as it gets, and this is how it's supposed to be. And if I didn't read the reviews, I would have never thought that there's anything wrong with this parkour. There really isn't anything wrong with it. It's actually works really, really well in my opinion.
Jade speaking. It's gonna get dark in about an hour. So whatever you're doing, people, better start wrapping it up and get back to the tower.
Yeah, when you hear that, sometimes you fall away from the tower, which is the main safe house. But there are hopefully always safe houses close by, nearby, that you can quickly go to. Because ideally you don't want to be out during the night. Because things get a lot different during the night. When you think you can just go up on the roofs to get away from the zombies, this is not the same at night, because you have to deal with much stronger zombies. Zombies that can jump, that can climb after you, that can get you. And you cannot see a lot. You have a flashlight, but you can barely see where you're going. Just in reality, like in real life, when you're trying to run through some dark woods at night, have you ever done that? You can barely see anything, and it gets super creepy, and you can quickly get hunted by hundreds of zombies all of a sudden. If you're good, you can sneak around at night and try to avoid the zombies, and you can actually rank up your skills a lot faster at night, but it is definitely super scary. So if you don't want to take the risk, you better find a safe house like here, where you can go and take a nap and wait until the day comes. You can also put some of the stuff that you found into a storage bag that you have, so you don't have to carry around so much. I don't really know how much the backpack can hold, but I always put a lot of stuff into my storage bag just in case I find really great stuff, so I have space in my backpack. And you can always come here and restock your backpack if you shouldn't find anything. And you know, going to bed here is always a sure way to know that the game has saved. And here's something funny that I encountered yesterday, and I didn't know if that was like a bug or if they put that in on purpose. I've never seen a zombie on fire walking around like nothing happened, like he doesn't even know what's going on, and all the other zombies are looking at him like, what the heck is going on with you? So I found that really funny, and I'm sure there are more things like this in the game. I really just started. But if you're not sure yet if you should get this game or not, I can just say, if you like anything zombie, if you like first-person games, if you like open-world games, if you like looting, if you like realism, if you like extremely good graphics in a game, this is a must-have game for you. It's an amazing game. It's super addictive. You just don't want to stop playing. And what I really forgot to mention is that this game has such a good story that it's like the only game I, for once, don't skip the cutscenes, which I usually always skip in any other game, no matter how good the game is. The story usually is not of my interest. This is a really good story. It's basically like a really good long zombie movie that you are part of. So that's all I can say. It just feels amazing. I highly recommend this game. I give this game a 10 out of 10. And I haven't even played enough of it, and I don't think I will change my mind because I know the Tech Client makes excellent zombie games. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time, maybe with some more Dying Light footage. Take care. Bye bye.